Oh, good afternoon and welcome to the preview for Sha Tin on Sunday. It's a mix on the all-weather and turf. Two races with unraced. One of them rules us out of the TT jackpot, unfortunately. Um, there were a set of trials run the other morning. There were 11 trials, of which about 55 of the runners were all unraced. Now, I hadn't seen this before, so leans towards these sort of things happening a little bit more frequently than expected, where we're just not going to be able to play in some of the bets because of the unraced factor. Now, race one's full of unraced, so we're not interested there. We immediately pass the Griffin. Race two, not much of a race. Same horses running around. Cruise Control gave this a chance last time. Barrier 12, no help to it. Purton's on it. That's a plus, so maybe a small improvement there. No Ties and Just Good. Now, both of these have had a million chances. So this, to me, looks a race where something fresh might show up. And I like Flying Supreme. I think this has got a chance at a price. It's an open betting race. I don't think there's too many chances on the win line. At 7 or 8 or 10 to 1, it's probably at rock bottom price. For me to consider doing any business in this race, I'd want to be seeing double figures as an absolute minimum. Africa Light had a trainer change. It's tight in the market, probably a little bit too short also. Of the rest, Gorgeous Life, it's got a chance. Now, Optimisation Star, this trialled well before the first up run. It's never run a place in its life, but it's run a couple of races very close up. I wouldn't be ruling a line through it. If we get involved here, may give it some hope. It's a race I'm not keen on. I've got two on top from 10, 9, 11, 6 and 7. Race 3, Idyllic Wind. It'll get back, give them a bit of a start. It'll be running on okay late. Happy Kaiser gets Mosse up on it. That's no plus. He has a tendency to ride a little bit wide, and that always concerns me with him. He did the job on us 4 or 5 times last year, sitting 3 and 4 and 5 wide and killed us. So I'm not that forgiving with him. I'd want to see a good string of rides coming out of him before I start wanting to bank him in anything. Clement Spirit, it'll go back. Douglas White keeps the ride. He's been riding it in all its track work, so that's interesting that he's stuck with it. So he must think that he's got another win in it somewhere. Hey Cheers was impressive. Purton Sticks, it's going to be hard to beat. And All My Kingdoms was steady first up with 50 kilos. It's got a chance. One on top from 2 and 9, chances to 3, 4 and 14. Race 4, another one of these mediocre fields where there's just not a lot of exposed form. Let Me Go, it was impressive winning. It wouldn't need to improve much to beat these. It's probably the one to beat. As I say, there's not a lot of depth in this race. Dragon Glory, it's been steady for the new trainer. Probably going to get a bit of a price, a couple of horses in this race, because I would assume that Let Me Go is going to start very, very short against most of these. Dashing Fortune, it won at a price. It'll be a price again. Winning Boy and Skip Court. Skip Court's an interesting one. Keeps trialling well and then can't produce it on the track. One of these days he'll put his best foot forward on race day and lob at a massive price. But very risky conveyance. 11 Clear Cut on top from 1, 5, 13, 8 and 14. Go to race 5. Southern Springs looks the one here. Douglas White keeps the ride. And I think it'll just ping out from barrier 3, sit on the speed at the turn and give them something to catch. It won't be a price, it'll be too short. It was probably, had we been able to play, probably would be a fairly strong banker in the first leg. Super Horse, Thanksgiving. Young Warrior's always around the place, and so is Hong Kong Fat. It's not a race with a great deal of depth. Jack's Gem's probably best of the rest, but barrier 11 does it no favours. 11 on top from 3-13. Chances to 14, 12, 5 and 2. Race 6, unraced here, and that's what's put us out of everything. Now, I've had a look at the unraced one. It's gone like a dromedary at the trials. It's probably going to start 100 to 1. But we stick to this rule. We always have done for all these years. We're not about to break school with it now just because of the jackpot. We've passed 50 million and 60 million jackpots in the past because of it. And it's held us in good stead, so we will continue to do the same. We go to race 7, Roman Legend and Triumphant Jewel. Probably Triumphant Jewel is going to be very, very hard to beat. It's got a bit of ability, this horse. One start was soft. This is its go down the straight. It beat Luger by 3 or 4 lengths. Luger's come out and killed him at the next couple. This has got a bit of ability. It's going to start very short, I would think. It's going to be hard to beat. Roman Legend's probably going to start very tight and close to it, as will probably Bundle of Joy and Access Years. Gold Edition will be a price. It's got the right draw in 14 for the run down the straight, but it's a little bit on the weak side. And this is its go, but the 1,000 metres, but it needs a very, very soft run. Probably not going to get it here. There's a bit of speed here with Grimmy there as well. I think 10 clear cut for me on top from 9, 5, 12, chances to 3, 8. We go to race 8. We're getting into the slightly better races now. Ambassadorship defied the bias and was very strong, winning over 1,800. It's going to be hard to beat. Backbench Blues, terrific win first up, sat 3-4 wide, even wider coming into the straight, just stormed home for the new trainer. It's improved a little bit further at track work, and it'll be in the finish, I think, from barrier 3. May not get as far back this time. Todos con Suerte, they heavily backed and got the money last start. Looks like it's crying out for ground, so that this will suit. And Percy Jackson finally ran a decent race at a price last start. Barrier 5 will see it on the speed. The only one I think has got any chance is Eagle Spirit. Gets back onto the right surface for it, and it'll be running home nicely. 8 on top from 11, 5, 9, 12. Race 9, Berlinski was very impressive first up. Its track work has been really good since. Hard to see them beating it in this. The only horses I give much chance to beat it, Exciting Dream, Both Sure, and Boy Oh Boy I think is going to improve quite a bit on the first up run. It needed the hit out. It's a race that lacks any depth, and there's probably no value in a race like this. 4 on top from 1, 6, 11. Race 10, this is the main race of the day. Rainbow Chic and Blazing Speed and Mazzani. These look the main 3. There's very little between them. I think probably Blazing Speed, the 60 kilos in the wide draw, it's probably not going to get the run that it should get. I wouldn't want to be taking evens or anything like that in a race like this. Mazzani's the horse that's got the pedigree and the potential to beat all these. It's got probably a better future than most of them. I think probably its right price is about 6 or 7 or 8 to 1. If they bet any better than that, we may consider doing something with it. It'll get back. Deleuze rides it well, goes good at the track. Stepping up to 1,800, I don't think that's any great concern for it. Nice piece of track work a couple of weeks ago, broke 22. That tells me it's cherry ripe now, and it's the one to beat. Rainbow Chic, barrier 13, absolutely no favours for it, but got to give it some chance. Endowing goes good track and distance. Barrier 1's a big plus. It'll camp up on the speed. It'll be hard to beat. Destined for Glory. Yeah, I think it just gets too far back. Needs too many things to go right for it in the run. Can't see that happening here. And Winning Leader's been impressive its last two starts. Goes good here. The 1800, never been there. So that's always going to be a bit of a query. But it was pretty solid form at a mile, but not against these type of horses. Yeah, I'd probably be risking it at 1800. I think Endowing will beat it home wherever they finish. 7 on top from 1 to 8. Chances to 10 and 11. The last race on the all-weather track. There's a few good all-weather horses in this. I was waiting for free judgment to get onto this surface. They've given it a couple of bodgy runs on the grass. That's not its go. This is its go. I think barrier 13's no favours, but Teton's a good rider. 1650. It'll be running home late. It'll get back. There's a bit of speed here. Slick Bullet went so bad last start, choked down in the run. Its trial and track work since has been good. 50 kilos, that helps. Of the rest, Let Me Handle It. Eagle Power goes good this surface, as does Silver Grecian. If we can get double figures free judgment tomorrow, we will consider playing something in the last. Overall, I don't see a great deal of value in the day, especially given that we're ruled out of the jackpot. There might be some value there in a small parlay using the Zani and possibly free judgment. Other than that, I can't see any value on the card, but things change, and tomorrow I'll have a closer look again and wait for the market to consolidate. Excuse me. I'll keep you posted, and excuse me, the bets will go up probably. We'll disregard race 1. We may wait a little bit longer than normal just to make sure weather and everything else is okay. We've been caught a couple of times taking parlays with things that ended up tightening up late. I just want to wait for the market to consolidate a little bit. We did indicate this a few weeks ago that we may not necessarily go up as early as we have in the past, and we may wait until 30, 40 minutes before we actually consider a bet. There's nothing in the early races that we would probably get involved in at this stage. So just check a couple of times during the day. Certainly after race 1, I wouldn't worry too much before race 1. I don't think we'll bet too early. Good luck to everybody if you play for yourselves, and there is a jackpot next Wednesday, so we'll be getting involved there. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and very shortly I'll also do a Melbourne Cup preview. Interesting race coming up. If the rain comes, may have a bit of value with a couple, and hopefully we kick a goal, especially after getting to the last today and getting swamped like that to get beaten. We had a decent result coming with a couple of runners, so we're knocking on the door, and I'm sure very shortly we are going to knock that door over. Thanks, guys.